Chapter 1. Dawn of Luxury and the Premonition of Change. The sky was only beginning to brighten as the first rays of the morning sun pierced through delicate clouds, tinting the horizon with soft shades of pink and gold. The silent ocean, like an endless mirror, reflected all the colors of the new day, creating the illusion of a fairy tale world where nature and luxury merged in a single breath. In this idyllic setting, a private yacht rested majestically in an isolated cove, a modern marvel of engineering and a symbol of refined taste. Every graceful curve and sleek line of its hull spoke of a legacy of success and a relentless pursuit of perfection, while its lavish interior, from marble countertops to exclusive wooden panels and subtly ambient lighting, evoked an atmosphere of comfort and uncompromising status that declared its owner's membership among the elite. Here, surrounded by serenity and splendor, everything was set for a day that promised not only beauty but also destiny. At that early hour, Leonardo DiCaprio stepped aboard the yacht, a man whose name shone not only on screens but in the hearts of fans worldwide. His presence always carried a magnetic allure, and today he was more than just a celebrity. He embodied the quest for harmony between external brilliance and inner depth. Dressed in a refined yet relaxed ensemble, Leonardo strolled along the deck as if searching for something undiscovered. His calm, confident gaze reflected years of experience and a genuine desire to understand the true essence of the world around him. He knew that behind the facade of luxury lay not only material wealth, but also untold stories, human destinies, and dreams often left unattended. The yacht exuded an extraordinary atmosphere. Every member of the crew, from the captain to the junior deckhand, worked with impeccable precision and attention to detail. Nothing was left to chance, from neatly folded towels and freshly squeezed juice in crystal glasses to the faint aroma of expensive cologne wafting among the guests. This seamless harmony of technical perfection and artistic taste was imbued not only with pride over achieved heights, but also with a subtle premonition that even here, in this world of opulence, everything could change. A few invited guests, representatives of the business elite and connoisseurs of art, engaged in relaxed conversation in the spacious salon, unaware that their tranquility was about to be shattered by something entirely unexpected. Leonardo's attentive eyes absorbed not only the visual details, but also the smallest nuances. The glint of light on the water's surface, the gentle, rhythmic sway of the yacht, as if it were a living creature, and the soft murmur of the engine merging with the natural symphony. These sounds filled his soul with serenity, while simultaneously stirring a quiet curiosity within him. He understood that every new day was not only an opportunity to enjoy the world's beauty, but also a chance to delve into the deepest recesses of his inner being, to find answers to questions that had long troubled him. The social context of that early hour was not overlooked. In a modern world where material values often equate to success, a person's true worth is measured not only by status and wealth, but by inner harmony, the ability to express oneself, and genuine relationships. As Leonardo observed the rituals of high society, he found himself contemplating that real luxury lies in accepting another person for who they are, rather than judging them by outward attributes. His thoughts drifted between the bright lights of the big city and the quiet, soothing whisper of nature. This inner dialogue made him cherish moments of calm and introspection even more, moments in which, despite all the external opulence, there was space for heartfelt communication and true human connection. Thus began a new day aboard the yacht, a day filled with promise and premonition, where every element, from the gleaming surface of the ocean to the profound gaze of the celebrity, became part of a grand tapestry painting a story of change. In that fragile balance between beauty and unpredictability, between harmony and hidden conflict, the seeds were sown for the trials that would soon challenge the heroes and perhaps change their fates forever. Chapter 2. The unexpected arrival and the first signs of disrupted equilibrium. On the horizon, where the azure sky melded seamlessly with the endless ocean, an unfamiliar rhythm suddenly sounded, a relentless signal of change that disrupted the established idyll. In the distance, against the backdrop of soft morning light, a small boat slowly approached, a weathered sailboat with a worn hull and tattered sails that clearly did not belong in the realm of luxury and refinement reigning on the yacht. This unexpected vessel, as if emerging from another era, a world where simplicity, sincerity, and raw emotion were prized over glitter and ostentation, created a striking contrast to its opulent surroundings. At first, the crew busy preparing the salon couldn't help but turn their eyes toward the approaching boat. Their initial reactions were subtle, a few creases of concern on the captain's face, followed by cautious whispers that spread throughout the yacht. One deckhand, barely concealing his surprise, murmured, "Is this some kind of mistake?" Meanwhile, the guests gathered in the spacious lounge exchanged puzzled and apprehensive glances. In that moment, the invisible line between the familiar and the foreign blurred, and the serene morning began to tremble under the first omens of impending change. Leonardo DiCaprio, having noticed the commotion, paused at a window overlooking the ocean. His ever-observant eyes immediately registered the stark contrast between the magnificent yacht and the old, almost neglected boat cutting uncertainly through the waves. A silent question flashed in his mind. How could something so out of place appear in the heart of a meticulously ordered world? This was not merely an arrival, it was a signal that the delicate equilibrium might soon be disturbed, and the air was thick with a peculiar mix of anxiety and curiosity. As the boat drew closer, its weathered hull revealed a solitary figure. Suddenly, against the transparent ocean backdrop, a silhouette emerged, a man clad in worn clothing, his eyes burning with determination, his face marked by the hardships of a long journey. His presence, so starkly contrasting with the refined surroundings, not only elicited surprise but also cast a shadow of unease among those accustomed to an unblemished protocol. An alert guard was the first to step onto the deck to assess the situation. His usually calm expression shifted into one of guarded seriousness as he gripped the radio, attempting to establish contact with his superiors. In that moment, time seemed to slow down, the gentle breeze that had played with the sails quieted, and the murmurs of the guests faded, replaced by a profound sense of impending uncertainty. On board, debates and murmurs began. Some insisted that the unexpected guest might have arrived by mistake, while others quietly speculated that there was more behind his arrival than met the eye. Leonardo, observing the unfolding scene, sought a rational explanation. His inner wisdom, steeped in experience and insight, told him that every detail, even something as seemingly insignificant as this old boat, carried a meaning, a message of critical importance. He wondered if this visit might spark a re-examination of long-held rules and shatter the chains of traditional perceptions of luxury and status. Meanwhile, as the boat steadily neared the yacht, it cast long shadows upon the deck, as if foretelling the coming trial. With every passing second, the tension escalated, the atmosphere thickening with apprehension and the premonition of change. The guests, business magnates, and esteemed friends exchanged doubtful, uneasy glances, unable to fathom how a stranger, so mismatched with their refined world, could intrude upon their sanctuary of perfection. Finally, the boat docked at a modest pier, making the disembarkation of its lone occupant inevitable. The first step onto the yacht was taken by the stranger himself, who walked confidently along the wooden deck despite his unrefined appearance. His eyes swept over the assembly, meeting the looks of astonishment and, at times, outright disapproval. In that moment, more than a breach of protocol occurred, two worlds collided, heralding a storm that promised to overturn the established order. Leonardo DiCaprio, ever the vigilant observer, felt a stirring deep within, a premonition of the conflict that was about to erupt. He understood that this was not a mere chance encounter but a turning point that would force everyone present to confront their inner demons and reevaluate the values on which their lives were built. The unexpected arrival of the uninvited guest had become the catalyst that blurred the fine line between order and chaos, between prejudice and sincerity, between the past and the future. In that charged moment, the yacht, its inhabitants, and nature itself held its breath in anticipation of the changes that were about to unfold. Chapter 3. The Escalation, Tense Confrontation of Worlds and Interests with Dialogue. The yacht, once enveloped in an atmosphere of calm luxury, now found itself at the epicenter of a mounting conflict. Following the unceremonious arrival of the unexpected guest, the tension began to escalate, as if an unseen force was gradually tightening its grip on the very air. Guests, crew, and even Leonardo DiCaprio sensed that the once stable equilibrium was crumbling under the pressure of a disruptive, alien energy. It soon became clear that the arrival of this man was no accident. It was a deliberate challenge designed to overturn the established order of a world where status reigned supreme. On the spacious deck, Where moments earlier quiet conversations and leisurely steps had filled the air, an impassioned discussion now broke out. Gathered near an opulent sofa under the crystal-clear chandeliers, representatives of the business elite and invited guests began to voice their concerns. One influential businessman, Alexander Novikov, could no longer contain his indignation as he turned to a nearby guard. "What kind of nonsense is this? This man does not follow protocol at all. Who exactly is he?" The guard, still trying to comprehend the situation, replied with a touch of awkwardness. "Mr. Novikov, I did not expect such a visit. But we must get to the bottom of this. We cannot simply allow anyone to board uninvited." At that moment, Leonardo stepped forward, his calm voice slicing through the rising clamor. "Let's remain composed. We are here to understand, not to judge. Please, tell us your story." The uninvited guest, introducing himself as Igor Solovyov, looked at Leonardo and, with a mixture of hesitancy and determination in his eyes, said, "I understand that my arrival may seem out of place, but I have an important matter to discuss with the owner of this yacht. I did not come here to disrupt order, but rather to reveal a truth that has long been deliberately concealed." A brief silence fell over the room, punctuated only by murmurs. Alexander, frowning, demanded, "A truth? What truth could possibly be uncovered in such an impeccable place?" Leonardo, studying Igor's face intently, gently yet firmly pressed, "Perhaps it is in this very impeccable world that secrets are hidden. We all build our ideals on appearances and status, yet truth often lies far beyond superficial glitter. Tell us what brought you here." Taking a deep breath and gathering his thoughts, Igor began. "I am a journalist who has devoted my life to investigating corrupt schemes and the double standards that prevail in the highest echelons of society. For years, I have gathered evidence showing that some of the most luxurious establishments are nothing more than facades masking secret interests and shady deals. Today, I learned that one of the investors involved in constructing this exclusive complex intentionally withheld information that could redefine our understanding of ethical business practices. I have come here to meet the one who, I believe, holds the key to the truth." All eyes turned to Leonardo, whose gaze now shone with understanding and resolve. He calmly inquired, "Igor, why did you choose this yacht and this setting for such a candid conversation? Don't you think that the gravity of your revelations deserves a setting that matches its importance?" A slight smile appeared on the journalist's lips as he replied, "Precisely because truth is seldom exposed in the opulent halls of banquets or sterile offices. I chose this yacht as a symbol of the very duality I aim to challenge, a place where external splendor can hide a lack of substance. If even here, amidst apparent perfection, questions can arise, then my mission is not in vain." The dialogue intensified, drawing the attention of everyone aboard. Another guest, the well-known patron Marina Vitrova, joined in. "Leonardo, we have long judged a person by their appearance. But perhaps it's time to reconsider. True strength lies in the ability to accept and understand another, even if their path differs from our own." Leonardo met her gaze and responded firmly, "Indeed, truth does not always conform to conventional standards. Our task is to look beyond the veneer and discern the essence behind the facade of luxury and power." Still skeptical, Alexander Novikov abruptly rose and declared, "These are all just words. Without concrete evidence, your claims amount to nothing. If you have proof, show it. Otherwise, it sounds like a fabrication designed solely to sow doubt in our system." Igor, maintaining his composure, then produced several documents and photographs from his portfolio. His warm yet resolute voice carried as he stated, "These materials are the culmination of years of investigation. I have endured trials and hardships to gather them. Look at the dates, signatures, and internal correspondence. They lay bare a reality hidden behind glossy advertisements and hollow promises. Truth never dies, even if it is deliberately suppressed." The atmosphere on deck grew charged with intensity. The conversation evolved into an open dispute as each side defended its own version of events. Leonardo, steadfast in his tranquility, proposed, "Let us set aside our emotions and carefully examine the evidence presented. We are not here to assign blame, but to understand what is truly happening. Genuine knowledge has the power to unite, whereas falsehood only divides." At that moment, the yacht ceased to be merely a symbol of luxury. It transformed into an arena where two worlds clashed, two distinct perspectives on life met head-on. Even though there was still a long path ahead filled with discussions, compromises, and revelations, everyone knew the truth was beginning to surface and change was inevitable. Chapter 4. climax, an emotional confrontation, and the unveiling of true motives. Against the backdrop of the yacht's softly shimmering lights and the gentle glow of the deck lamps, the atmosphere reached its zenith. Night had fully descended upon the deck, lending each gesture and every word an extraordinary weight. Everyone present, from the influential guests to the dedicated crew, felt that the moment of truth had arrived. It was now time for all masks to fall away and for the hidden motives to be exposed. Leonardo DiCaprio, standing at the center of the deck, took a deep breath and addressed the assembly. Dear friends, we are all gathered here for a reason. We stand on the brink of unveiling a truth that has long lurked in the shadows. Let us open our hearts and minds to this truth, however bitter it may be. Igor Solovyov, clutching the folder containing his evidence, stepped forward and declared, I have not come here to dismantle established order, but to demonstrate that behind the external splendor lie intrigues and compromises capable of redefining our sense of justice. These documents are not mere rumors. They are the result of years of dedicated effort to expose corruption in the highest circles. At that moment, one of the influential guests, the businessman Alexander Novikov, interrupted with clear indignation. Igor, you speak of corruption, but how can you be sure that your evidence is not fabricated? Our world is built on trust, not on hearsay. Without losing his composure, Igor replied, Alexander, I have undergone countless tests and challenges to collect these materials. If you doubt me, look at the facts, the dates, the signatures, the internal memos, everything is laid out before you. Truth endures, even if some try to conceal it. Leonardo, observing the rising tension, stepped closer to Alexander and said, Listen, Alexander, I have always believed that truth unites rather than divides. Can we build a system if we ignore even a single detail? If we abandon our pursuit of truth, we lose touch with reality. A hushed murmur rippled through the crowd. Then, Marina Vetrova, known for her ability to find balance, took the microphone and said softly yet decisively, Perhaps now is the time to re-examine our views. We have grown accustomed to judging people by appearances and status, but true value lies in honesty, in the willingness to acknowledge one's mistakes. If Igor is right, we must reflect on how we ourselves fit into this system. The tension escalated, each second seemingly poised to burst with raw emotion. At that critical moment, a young crew member named Sergei, summoning his courage, addressed the gathered crowd. I hear not only the fear of change in your voices, but also the hope that we can live differently. Perhaps, instead of rejecting the truth, we should embrace it as an opportunity for growth. These simple, sincere words resonated deeply, prompting many to reflect. Leonardo once again broke the ensuing silence with a soft yet penetrating voice. Truth can be painful, but it also liberates. We are all united by a common desire for justice, and I urge you, let us explore what lies beneath the surface. The documents presented by Igor are not mere proof. They are the key to understanding how we might reshape our world for the better. A slightly softened Alexander Novikov conceded. Perhaps I was too hasty. If there truly are grounds for suspicion, let us examine every detail meticulously. But I insist that each step be transparent and objective. Igor nodded with a gentle smile. I seek not to incite conflict, but to ensure that truth prevails. Let this initiative serve as a chance for all of us to evolve and to understand that at the very foundation of any system should lie sincerity and fairness. Under the watchful gaze of the stars and the soft hum of distant music, the confrontation on deck was more than just a heated debate. It was a soulful outcry for change, a call for transformation that could not be ignored. Leonardo, looking into the eyes of everyone present, added, Let us seize this opportunity to reevaluate our priorities and perhaps pave a new path where sincerity and honesty are our guiding principles. Only when truth stands in the light can we truly move forward. Thus, amidst the night's quiet majesty, under the soft glow of the deck lamps and the silent witness of the stars, the climax of the conflict unfolded. Words laden with pain, anger, hope, and earnestness echoed across the yacht, promising that change was inevitable and that truth, no matter how bitter, would eventually break through the layers of deceit and prejudice. Chapter 5. Resolution and Aftermath, Reconciliation, Inner Transformation, and a New Outlook on Life. As the night gradually yielded to the tentative light of dawn, a quiet yet sincere conversation began on the yacht, one that sought to mend the rifts wrought by the tumultuous events of the previous hours. After the impassioned exchanges and revelations on the deck, every participant felt the need to re-examine what had transpired and to find a path toward reconciliation. Leonardo DiCaprio, standing by a window in the main salon, spoke softly. Every event, no matter how painful it may seem, offers us an opportunity to become better. Today, we have seen the hidden truths within each of us, and now it is time to understand that in our quest for truth, we are not enemies, but allies. Igor Solovyov, still holding the folder of documents that had stirred such intense debate, added gently, "I did not come here to dismantle established norms, but to show that even in a seemingly perfect world, there are imperfections that demand our attention. May these materials serve as the starting point for dialogue, not discord." Alexander Novikov, once so skeptical and even aggressive, sank into a plush sofa and sighed. "Perhaps I was too harsh. I admit that the evidence you have presented, Igor, has compelled me to reconsider my views. We all strive for order and stability, yet sometimes change is the spark that ignites true excellence. I am ready to embrace a new perspective if it will help us move forward." Marina Vetrova, renowned for her gift of finding balance, smiled warmly and said, "In our world, where status and appearance are held in such high regard, we often lose sight of what is truly important: humanity, trust, and the ability to listen to one another. Today, I see that real strength lies not in imposing one's views, but in understanding and accepting them. Let this moment be the beginning of change." Sergei, the young deckhand who had earlier voiced his thoughts with refreshing candor, added, "Sometimes even simple words can awaken the desire for transformation. I am proud to have found the courage to speak up about our need for truth, even if it stings. Let this night be a lesson that urges us to pursue honesty, no matter how challenging it may be." Leonardo, looking each person in the eye, continued, "We have taken the first step. Now it is time not only to discuss, but to act. I propose that we hold an internal meeting where we review all the evidence Igor has presented, involve independent experts if necessary, and conduct a transparent investigation. Let this process be a shining example that truth can only emerge through cooperation and mutual respect." A moment of thoughtful silence followed, heavy with anticipation. Then Alexander Novikov nodded. "Very well, Leonardo. I support the idea of a transparent inquiry. If we can demonstrate that even the most secure systems have flaws, it will mark the beginning of a new era of trust and accountability." Igor, with a gentle smile, added, "I do not seek conflict. I seek the triumph of truth. Let this initiative be not a punishment but an opportunity for us all to grow and to understand that the foundation of any system must be built on sincerity and fairness." Raising her glass with a sparkling toast, Marina declared confidently, "To a new era where even the strictest rules do not silence the voice of the heart, where we strive for perfection through honesty. May we leave behind the bitterness of discord today and begin to build bridges instead of walls." As the soft strains of music drifted through the yacht, the participants began to reshape their perspectives. The intense emotions of the night gradually softened. Each person recognized that what had transpired was more than a clash of personalities. It was an opportunity to rethink the values upon which society is built. In closing, Leonardo said, "Truth, like the sea, is vast and multifaceted. We must not remain captive to outdated prejudices and illusions. Let our decisions today lay the foundation for future change, a future where every voice is heard and every deed is valued for its true worth rather than its superficial trappings." With those final words, as the first rays of morning light filtered through the windows, the yacht transformed from a mere symbol of luxury into an arena of renewed understanding and collaboration. Smiles, exchanged glances, and warm handshakes marked the first steps toward a new era, one in which genuine wealth is measured not in material
If
possessions,
you
but in
enjoyed this
spiritual
story,
harmony and
we'd
mutual
love for you to
understanding.
give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to continue sharing heartwarming, inspiring stories almost every day.